Gurubhyo Namaha, Namo Namaha. Welcome to section 17 of Sanskrit language and grammar. In this session, we will deal with the verbal forms. Verbal forms are very important. There could be no sentence without a verb, right? Verb is very important in a sentence, right? We saw earlier a word is formed with a combination of prakriti and pratyaya. Prakriti means the base, pratyaya is a suffix. A prakriti and pratyaya joins together to form a word. In Sanskrit, the word is defined as tidangdam subandam. That means the word is either it can be a noun or a verb. Now in this session, we are going to see about the verbal forms. In Sanskrit, there are around 2200 original verbs, dhatus, verbal roots rather. There are 2200 verbal roots. How these verbal roots becomes verbs? They become kriya padam. That's what we are going to discuss. The verbal roots, they have to undergo some modifications to become the verbs. We are going to see in the next few sessions what are the modifications. We are going to see only the important modifications, predominant modification. A verb is there, then we say that prakriti plus pratyaya. In the case of a verb, the prakriti is called dhatu and the pratyaya could be many pratyayas. And that becomes a verb. So, if you take a dhatu, a verbal root, then you add ting pratyaya. Ting is a name of a pratyaya because it is a ting is a abbreviation. It starts with ti and ends with ing. So that there are 18 pratyayas. These 18 pratyayas, they add with dhatu first. Then what happens? There is one more pratyaya called vikarana pratyaya. That is added between the ting pratyaya, that is the verbal affixes and the verbal root. Now, bare minimum I am saying that. So, one is a verbal root, then a vikarana pratyaya, then a ting pratyaya. If these three put together forms a verb, kriya padam. Okay. Then we will see one by one. We saw that there are around 2200 original verbal roots. Then vikarana pratyaya, they are 20 in number. This vikarana pratyaya is what? It is based on what? The vikarana pratyaya is based on three things. What are they? The lakaras. What are the lakaras? Lakaras are nothing but the tense and moods. Every verb, every action should indicate the present tense, past tense or future tense, or whether it is a request, order or blessing or wish or hope. That is called mood. And the present or past or future is called tense. It has to represent that. So in Sanskrit, there are 10 lakaras. Everything starts with, all the tense and moods starts with the letter la. So it is called lakara. There are 10 lakaras. So the vikarana pratyaya, they depend on the lakaras, one. Second, these 2200 verbal roots are segregated into 10 groups. The group is known as gana. Gana means group. How they are divided into 10 groups? Based on the similarity in the forms of the verb. So, the vikarana pratyaya is a pratyaya which dependent on the lakaras, 10 lakaras, 10 groups, 10 ganas and prayogas, 3 prayogas. Prayoga means whether it is an active voice or a passive voice. In Sanskrit, there are 3 voices. One is kartari, that is active. Second is karmani, that is passive. And bhave, that is impersonal passive. These three prayogas. So, You add to a verbal root a vikarna pratyaya and a ting pratyaya to get a kriyapadam or a verb. So the vikarna pratyaya, it depends on the vikarna pratyayas, they depend on the 10 lakaras, 10 ganas and 3 prayogas. Now we will come to, so what are the words we are dealing with? We are adding on terminologies, right? Vikarna pratyaya is the word we added, ting pratyaya we have added, the basic underived dhatus we have seen, then we say that gana, then we say that lakaras, then we say prayoga, so we are adding, right? Now the ting pratyayas depend on what? The ting pratyayas depend on two things. One is the lakara. The lakara gives meaning to the ting pratyaya, correct? It makes the ting pratyaya sensible. And the ting pratyayas also depend on pada yogyata. What is pada yogyata? These 2200 dhatus, originally they are segregated into atmanepadi, parasmaipadi and upayabati. This all, the segregation is already made. It is in the dhatu pata. Dhatu pata means the list of dhatus. So the ting pratyaya depends on the padayogyata and the lakara. So we have seen that the verbal root plus vikarna pratyaya plus ting pratyaya is equal to padam, kriya padam. Sometime what happens is the letter E is added. The E is added in between the original, the verbal roots and the vikarna pratyaya. Adding in Sanskrit is called agama. Replacing it is called adesha. Adding means agama. So E-agama. Since the E is added in front, the beginning of the pratyaya, that is vikarna pratyaya, it is called it. It is called it. Tit means it should be added in the front. Kit means it should be added in the end. Where to add? The question comes, no? You have to add. E means add. Where to add? Is in front of the pratyaya, in the middle or the end. So by using the word tit, it means it should be added in the beginning. So it is called it agama. Idagama, when you put the sandhi together. So what are the words, terminology we have seen? We saw that the verbal forms, the original verbal forms, to that E may be added sometimes. When the E will be added, it is depending upon the segregation of lakaras. The lakaras are segregated into sarvadhatuka lakara, ardhadhatuka lakara. And also that the pratyayas are segregated into sarvadhatuka pratyaya, ardhadhatuka pratyaya. So the E will be added when the original verbal forms are qualified to add E. Not only the verbal form should have the qualification for E, but also the pratyaya also should have the qualification for E. When the pratyaya, in between pratyaya and the original verbal form only, the E is added. If both of them, they have the qualification to add E, then E will be added. For to knowing the qualification, you need to know the terminology. Sarvadhatuka lakara, ardhadhatuka lakara, sarvadhatuka pratyaya, ardhadhatuka pratyaya. So now how many terms you have seen? Everything we are going to see in a separate session. Everything we are going to see. So a basic verbal root, to that E could be added sometimes based on some condition fulfillment. Then vikarna pratyaya is added. Then ting pratyaya is added, for which we have seen various terminology. With respect to E adding, we are saying that what are the related terminology? Sarvadhatuka lakara, ardhadhatuka lakara, sarvadhatuka pratyaya, ardhadhatuka pratyaya. Then in the case of vikarna pratyaya, what are the related words, terminology we saw? We saw gana, we saw lakara, we saw prayoga. In the case of ting pratyaya, we saw what? Pada yogyata, atmanepadi, upayabati and parasmaipadi. These are the terms we have added, correct? And over and above this I am talking about the bare minimum. Over and above this, there could be an addition of Krit Pratyaya and Sanadi Pratyaya also. So many, so we say that how many, so what happens is the original Dhatu, you can add Krit Pratyaya. The original Dhatus are 2200 in number. Then you can add to that Krit Pratyaya. How many Krit Pratyaya there? Around 125. Then these two you can add Sanadi Pratyaya. San Adi means starting with sun. How many are there? 12 are there. And to this, these three, E can be added. Sometimes ordered, need not be added. Then from that to that you add Vikarna Pratyaya, which are 20 in numbers. To that you can add Think Pratyaya, 18 numbers. 18 out of 18, 9 Pratyayas for Parasmai Padi Dhatu and 9 Pratyayas for Atmanepadi Dhatu. So these many combinations are there. Appreciate it, understand it, how it is structured. What a brainy construction. Yeah, by just reading and understanding it, the mathematical scientific language, there is a change in the brain structure, rightly scientifically proved. So if you see the list of verbs, that is called Dhatu Pata, we will take one example and conclude the session. How it will be? It will be like this. It will be reading like this. First Dhatu, Bhu. Bhu means to be, to exist. Then what happened? After the Dhatu, the meaning will be given. Sattayam. Satya means being existent. Then what is the Gana of this Dhatu? That is given. Because it is starting with Bhu, the group starts with Bhu itself. This is the first verb in the Gana. So Bhu Adi Gana. And Bhu Adi Gana, Bhu and Ast, if you do a Sandhi, then you will get Bhavadi Gana. Bhuadi Gana will become what? Bhavadi Gana. Then what is this Padam, Pada Yogyata? Parasmai Padi Dhatu. Whenever you want to refer to the Dhatu, you should use the word Parasmai Padi Dhatu, Atmane Padi Dhatu or Upaya Padi Dhatu. Whenever you want to refer to the Pratyaya, Parasmai Pada Pratyaya, Atmane Pada Pratyaya, Upaya Pada Pratyaya. Okay. So, Bhu Sattayam Bhadi Gana Parasmai Padi. Parasmai Padi talks about the Pada Yogyata. And Akarmaka. Akarmaka means it is non-transitive verb. You can't ask what. You are there. Suppose you are eating. You can ask what you are eating. Then you will say, I am eating idli, dosa, chapati. But I am there. I exist. What do you exist? Can we ask? No. So it doesn't have a transitive verb. It is a non-transitive verb. So akarmaka, karma yogyata is also mentioned in the Dhatu Pata, the list of verbs. Then it, I said that adding the E. If E can be added, it is called Set. Sa, it means with it. Whether if the Dhatu as well as Pratyaya both are entitled for addition of E, then it will be known as Set. But here it is for the Dhatu. So that this verbal root is qualified to add E. So Set. If it is not, E cannot be added, it is called unit. Unit means not it. That is unit. The Dhatu cannot add E. Then optionally, for some verb, optionally you can add both it and non-it. It is called va-it. Va means optionally. That is called wait. So we have got the verb, the meaning, then Gana, then Pada Yogyata, then Karma Yogyata, then It Yogyata. This is what you will find it in a Dhatu Pada, list of verbs. We will deal one after the other. We will take all this one after the other in every session. Go slow, we will do that. You just listen to this. Then it will create a imprints in your mind. A samskara will be created. Then appropriate time it will blossom. If you already know, it will be a reminder. If you are enthusiast, Sanskrit enthusiast, then reading this will give you more interest to learn more about it. Thank you very much for the opportunity. We will take one by one in a very slow, steady way so that you will appreciate and enjoy it. Thank you very much.